And now, please welcome Los Angeles Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, currently serving as President of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. Mayor Villaraigosa is a longtime advocate and supporter of arts and culture in Los Angeles, consistently emphasizing that creativity also drives the economy in Los Angeles. Each year, almost 26 million tourists visit Los Angeles, and almost half of them spend money in local theaters, museums, concert halls, and galleries. Local tourists and visitors contribute a staggering $115 billion in annual revenue. Mayor Villaraigosa.
I like the introduction from the voice of God. It's always great, and particularly when they introduce you based on what you wrote about yourself. Thank you very much, wherever you are, and somewhere up in the heavens. Distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, fellow mayors, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to recognize Mayor Landrieu for hosting this forum and for bringing us such an amazing group of national and international leaders here to the great city of New Orleans. And I'd like to thank him for working with the U.S. Conference of Mayors and including our mayors from across the country, but also from around the world in this event. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the Executive Director of our organization, Tom Cochran, who's here with us today, our second Vice President, Scott Smith, and our former Presidents, Elizabeth Couch and Don Pasquale. Good to see you all. Now, as President of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, I'm honored to speak to you today, and with so many skilled negotiators and diplomats in the room, I'm reminded of the David Frost definition of diplomacy. Diplomacy, Frost observed, is the art of letting somebody else have your way. This year, as President of the Conference of Mayors, I've been delivering a clear message about the economic importance of our country's cities and our metro regions. Metros matter. They're America's economic dynamos. From downtown to the suburbs, over 90% of the nation's economic output and 85% of our country's jobs are being generated in our cities. If you just took one city, mine as an example, if we were a country, we'd be the 18th largest economy in the world, bigger than Taiwan or Saudi Arabia. Now our cities are more than just economic engines, and I think you heard Mayor Landrieu speak to that. They're also America's cultural meccas. Countless artists and painters, dancers and poets, writers live in our cities and find inspiration in the hustle and bustle and the mix of cultures they experience in our streets. You know, LA, as an example, is a city where we come from 140 countries. We speak 200 languages. We have 37 nationalities that have their largest population there outside of their country of origin. It's a city where the world over 4%, even as the rest of the economy was still sluggish. Now, when these visitors come to LA, they find the city bursting with cultural creativity and innovation, from the folk art majesty of the Watts Towers to the sparkling flow of the Disney Concert Hall. Visitors find a world-class concentration of arts institutions. Now, recently, 60 of these institutions came together to organize Pacific Standard Time, a path-breaking collaboration between museums, galleries, archives, local colleges, and universities. Pacific Standard Time showcased the artists and creative people that established Los Angeles as one of the world's art capitals. Now, positioned at the edge of the continent, we're proud of our status as a gateway. We're a gateway to the Pacific Rim. The cultural energies of the Americas, North, Central, and South, flow through our city. About 65% of the city are from the continents of Latin America, Asia, and Africa. 42% foreign-born. It's a city beaming and bristling with many different cultures. We're a destination for travelers, adventurers, and sojourners from the four corners of the earth, making investments to dramatically enhance our status as a gateway. If you've been to LA, you know that the airport hadn't had a do-over since 1984 during the Olympics. We're in the process of a $4 billion effort to modernize the airport and make it a better gateway. We're doing the same at our port. LA last year opened up 6 new international non-stop daily flights. We expect to open about the same this year. The increase in tourism, particularly from Asia, is dramatic. 151% increase in tourism from China alone in the last 4 years. There is plenty to do in LA, but most importantly, LA is just one of many cities around the world that are working for your business, working to bring people to the United States, to get a glimpse and a snapshot of the many cultures in this country, and importantly, the many places to visit. I think it's important in this world that we also focus, and I know you will be, on visa reform. One of the reasons why we had a 71% increase in tourism from Korea is because we worked hard to support the visa waiver program for Koreans, working to streamline the same for the Chinese. Brazilians still have too long to be able to get visas to the United States, and we're working as a city to support the federal efforts to do that. We recognize that after September 11th, there was a tendency on the part of this country to go within and not look out, but I think that's beginning to change, and cities are driving that change. It's important for us to understand that when people travel, when they come and visit, when they get to see the many places here in the United States or around the world, they get a glimpse of how interconnected we are. And I think that, in many ways, is what this is all about. An opportunity for us to see that interconnection, an opportunity for us to do, as Mayor Landro said, really get a sense of the soul of a community. You don't find that soul in the skyscrapers or the buildings. You don't find, but you do find it in the people. You find it in the places that celebrate people and their cultures. That's why we're here today. I want to welcome you all to the United States and to the great city of New Orleans. Thank you very much.